Venezuela now faces an unprecedented crisis as never before seen in an oil-exporting country. They are reported to be plagued with sharply deteriorating public health, scarcity of food and basic goods, energy shortages, and widespread crime. In 2015, Venezuela is recorded as having experienced 4 times as many violent deaths than in Afghanistan. Yesterday, as my fellow colleague from the Guyana Chronicle and I sat down with President David Granger on the Public Interest Show, this reporter asked Mr. Granger if his government would provide humanitarian aid to Venezuela. President Granger said,
"We have not contemplated the possibility. Venezuela has not made a request to us, and I'm sure if they needed assistance and they asked our help, we would consider it."
The president, who was somewhat hesitant at first in answering the question, quickly adjusted to the idea of it and gave the following response.
But we mustn't exaggerate. We don't know the exact situation in that country. We know about newspaper reports. There are some shortages, but the Venezuelan economy is not on the point of collapse. There are shortages because of the inability to buy goods in the world market, particularly household goods, day-to-day requirements in homes, foodstuff and so on. But the country is not on the brink of collapse,
Since oil prices dropped, the government's ability to supply foreign currency has been virtually constricted. Without enough income from oil exports, the government has been unable to meet the demands of its financial obligation. They first attempted to issuing foreign debt, then by forcing banks to acquire domestic bonds, and finally by recurring to the last resource, the money printing process. This collapse is reflected in the expected contraction of Venezuela's GDP by 10% this year, and in the scarcity of over 80% of basic goods. Goods available at inflated prices is the black market and are out of reach to all but a very few. Ironically, this chaos promoted by the government hurts the poor more than anyone else. Rihanna, it is alarming how a country endowed with so much wealth can so quickly succumb to the pressure of the world's economy. But as neighbors who have been snubbed and provoked over the past year, how neighborly should we be in the face of others' suffering? That's the question. Back to you, Rihanna.